I don't know why so many people insist on taking the hard road when it comes to learning how to play the keyboard. Many of you out there need to change the way you think, because you've been thinking wrong. You've been taught wrong. You've gone down the wrong road. You've gone down the long, hard road. There's a much easier road to getting you to play beautiful chord transitions, but I need you to understand this. Like I said, I need to change the way you think. Just give me a minute to explain this to you. There are 12 tones on the keyboard, okay? Let's look at them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright? 12 tones. Now, many of you have been taught to play based on harmonizing on the bass note. Like, say, for example, the tune Blessed Assurance in the key of D flat, which starts on the 1 chord, which is a D flat chord. Remember Blessed Assurance? And it starts on the 1 chord, a D flat chord. Now, many of you who try to play, I see musicians do this all the time. They chord the chord, and then they try to slam the melody on top. And they fumble it, and it's just not right, and sometimes it doesn't match. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about, okay? Blessed Assurance starts on the 1 chord. Blessed Assurance, it goes to the 6th chord. Now, here's the chord, and I see musicians do this all the time. Okay? And they fumble it like that. Blessed Assurance. They try to hold the chord and slam the melody on top. Now, what does that accomplish? That makes you sound boring. You need to flip that concept around. You do not harmonize on the bass. You harmonize on the melody. Like I said, there are 12 tones. Think about this. There is a chord that matches each one of the 12 tones. Like, for example, if you have this A flat in the melody, there is a chord that goes with it. If you're here on this E flat, there's a different chord that goes with it. So for every note on the keyboard, there's a different chord that goes with it. That means all you really need is 12 chords. If you knew 12 chords, and they're going to be all different to give you lots of color, you can play any song ever written, and you'll sound like a maestro. Now, like I said, you need to change the way you think. Now, just think about that. That makes sense. The melody note is where it's all at. And you need to have a matching chord that goes with each one of the melody notes in your song. And if you had one, you'd be straight. And you only need 12. Only 12. Now, there are a lot more, but 12 is the minimum. And my course is going to give you those 12 chords. Let me just give you an example of why you need more than 12, or why you want more than one chord for each one of the melody notes, because that controls the mood. That controls the mood of the song. So, for example, in the song Blessed Assurance, that ends that first phrase on this A flat, which is the 5, the 5th note in the key of D flat. We can end it on this chord. Okay, so that's a chord that I know that whenever I see any song ever written, if I see A flat, I play this chord. That's one of my 12. Now, like I said, this A flat right here is called the suspension, the note on top. So I know a chord for each one of the 12 tones. And the only reason I know more than one is to control the mood. Now let's choose a different chord for that same A flat, and look how it changes the mood. Okay? Different mood as opposed to, and you can play both of them. That's how you get all those pretty transitions. Let's try a different one. Completely different move. That's a B flat one. Okay? And I can go to switch to one on a B. I can switch to one on C. I can switch to one on E, which has quite a bit of dissonance. And I can switch to one on D. And like I said, it controls the mood. Listen to it. All different. That's how you control the mood. I can even go to one that has a G in the bass. Okay? So that's all explained in my course, step by step. Like I said, you need to change the way you think about music. It's a lot easier than you think. You may have to undo a lot of the things you learned before because this is easy. Like I said, think about it. 12 chords. That's all you need. You don't need to muck around with the bass. This gives you a way to drive those freaky bass lines because, like I said, the suspension on top drives the bass. I want the F here in the bass. With that A flat on top, I can move to one with a B flat in the bass. I can move to one with a B in the bass. I can move to one with a D in the bass. I can move to one with a C. So like I said, while I'm playing, the moment I come to this A flat, I can just pick a bass. And I get all kinds of nice color and flavor. And I can just chain all these together and come up with beautiful transitions. Get the course. Stop doing it the hard way. It's a lot easier than you think. Like I said, I explain it all step by step. This is not a show-off course where you look at what I'm doing and you got to figure out what I did. I explain it step by step. Get the course. You can't go wrong. Check you later.